Welcome to Sculpture Studios. Pretty much nothing but pure polystyrene carving here today, where Aden's going to be creating a sculpture of the mythological Greek winged horse Pegasus. For avid followers of our channel, you may be able to tell from the coming and going of various projects in the background that this is from a couple of years ago. Quite often we set aside projects where we're waiting for something to be out in the public domain, waiting for finished photographs or permission to release the project online, or simply a case where other videos have taken priority. But that doesn't mean that this stallion doesn't deserve his moment. This is created for a floral display, where in the past we've created peacocks, swans, and a smaller version of Pegasus, a couple of which were for the same client, but here today we're creating something a little more substantial.
Here I am in the studio, late of an evening, once again, and I have to make this Pegasus type horse with wings. That'd be quite nice, but I think it's got to be a unicorn as well. And here's some reference we're kind of copying, and it's not until I get into it where I'll work out the real pose. There's my little hot wire. I can hold it on. I can put a 40-foot wire on this if I like, and actually have a handle on there to turn it off and on. So, here I go. I think the hardest thing about doing any project is, or doing anything, the gardening, washing your car, turning over telly, is getting started. And here we are, just starting, making the commitment. Knock off the big pieces first. Start to work out the head. I have a centre line running up through the whole thing here, so that's good, and running down the back. Reduce the thickness of the head a bit, because I know the nose of the horse isn't that big. Reduce the thickness of the feet a little bit, and the legs, and bring the shoulders, start to work down the shoulders a touch. A little bit off that shoulder blade. The main thing is you work around it all, like relatively the same, and bring it down together. Reduce it and reduce it until you get finer and finer. The thing with carving, as regards to modelling, is you've got to try and see what's inside the block, and visualise it more than anything else. Take it down. You can get there fairly quickly to start with. Because later on you've got to start to hone it down a bit more. Start. Good thing about polystyrene is you can flip it over. It's not like heavy plaster or clay. You can just work on it, flip it, and you can work on your own. There's not a problem with this. So far, so good. Not too much commitment. Now I'm going to grab a nail brush. Nothing clever, nothing fancy. As long as you can grip it and it's nice and light, you can get finer. And have a little skinny one up there. Get cracking. Well, have to go home. But that's the start.
Though we're only creating the front section of the horse, the fact that this is going to have wings makes it a significantly larger piece. Not only is it a good idea to somewhat reinforce the sculpture, as it's basically going to be a polystyrene carving covered in muslin cloth and then flowers, but it's also important that this can break down for transportation. With this in mind, the main body of the horse is going to have a metal stand running up through the centre that can secure to the circular base. The legs and the wings will then have male and female metal bars inside so that they can detach and slide back into place. Unsure as yet whether the client actually wants this to have a unicorn horn, we're creating one anyway that they can add or remove as they see fit. Rather than the entire sculpture being covered in flowers, which will lose pretty much all of the facial detail on the horse itself, the intention is to somewhat finish the face, the mane and the legs so that these can actually be left bare. The wings and body will then be more of the large blank canvas for the client to add flowers, feathers and any other decoration. This means that we're not simply going to leave the face and legs in a raw polystyrene state, but instead we're going over with various hard coats, both for durability as well as the fact we can work these up to a much better finish. All of the polystyrene sections are adhered together with a polyurethane expanding foam. This not only allows you to join larger pieces together, but you can also fill small voids and add extra details that you can trim back and somewhat carve later. Here you can see an example of the metalwork coming from the back of the body for the wings, and the same will be installed in the legs so that everything can travel broken down to save any knocking or damage during loading or transit. Going over with a muslin cloth and an emulsion paint means that the client can pin or glue to the surface without damaging the polystyrene so much underneath.
What are you doing on here, Kevin?
I'm applying this hard plastic coating. It's only grey because we've added a pigment to it so we can see where we're going. And it's just going on top of the polystyrene and plaster render we've put on. And it just makes these parts a lot tougher to handle because these are the legs and the head which is going to be moving and handling and taking on and off the job.
Sure, very good.
Here at the studio, you'd better saddle up because there's always time for a little horsing around. Now, the client that this was originally commissioned by actually switched occupations during COVID lockdown here in the UK, and so we were actually left with this piece here in our studio. Who knows, there's a florist out there who'd perhaps love to get their hands on something like this to make the most of what we've created. Definitely have a check on our website to see if it's still available, and if it's unavailable, why not commission something new? Whether or not this does eventually get decorated in flowers, at least the project video here shows you guys exactly how it was created and the fact that it was created at all, as there literally wouldn't be any record of it otherwise. And if even that's enough, it means it wasn't made for nothing. And let's face it, if we didn't create this project video, we'd miss out on all this fantastic dancing. Go on, Liam. We always love hearing what you guys at home think of our projects and our channel, so please feel free to drop a comment below, and by all means subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep up to date on our latest videos. A big thank you to all of our patrons who support our projects and the creation of our videos. We love having you guys on board, and if you'd like to support our family run studio, you can find our Patreon details below. However big or small, it's greatly appreciated from all of us here at Sculpture Studios. Thank you very much for watching.